This is one of our heathlands. It's quite a small heathland, under 5 hectares, and one thing that's quite rare on heathlands of this size is actually having grazing animals. Most larger heathlands on big areas where there have access to cattle and it's easier to graze animals. Where we are here, we're right on a roundabout that has about 30,000 cars a day going around it. So we're probably about 600 metres from it here at the minute, and we have grazing animals. So we're just taking a look at what's on the ground here. There's quite a lot of grass for a heathland. We have cowpats, we have good insect populations going on. Got different types of vegetation, heathland species, flies, more dung. And so we want the animals, the cattle that we have, to come on here and reduce some of this biomass. So this biomass, this vegetation, is habitat for lots of insects and lots of bugs that live in here, so it's important to have that structure. But also we have reptiles on here, we have snakes and lizards who need to be able to bask, and it's the same for butterflies as well. Some of the butterflies, they need to be able to have access to solar energy in order to heat up so they can move. So if the grass takes over, it basically covers the whole area, so there's no sunlight for reptiles to warm up. So we're going to look at a man-made pond that was dug out here, along with some scrapes that were done at the same time. I think these are black skimmers that we've got darting across. This used to be the only source of water for the cattle on the site until about 2 years ago, when we got a fixed water supply put in, because in really hot summers this water level can go down quite far, and then the cattle can damage the banks quite a lot trying to get in there, and it's not good for their feet either. So in the background you can hear a road. So that main road, 40-mile-an-hour road there, is probably about 100 metres from us. And the tree line in the background marks the extent that the cattle can get to. So 8 weeks later, with our 5 longhorns, we can see that the cattle have grazed down some of this clumping grass, returned it to the ground as dung, which is food for insects. And using the GPS collars, we've actually drawn an area around the pond, an exclusion zone, so they can't access it. But because we have that fixed water supply on site, we can still get them water, but they don't have access. It's 2020, so the summer's been incredibly warm, so this water source here is very valuable to insects and things that live in there, so we don't want the animals going in and trampling it. The cattle have done a really good job taking down some of the grass vegetation, leaving the heather, knocking back a bit of the bracken. In the past 10 years this has been restored. There was a lot of silver birch here that's been felled. Now the cattle are keeping it open.